Are we live? We are live. Good evening, everybody. Hope you are well and enjoying your Thursday evening. So we are back because we want you guys to come on and talk about what you've got booked in and planned, because we were just having a little chat backstage and Gemma's double booked us tonight. And we're saying you can't remember the last time you got double booked. So Gemma is watching Coventry Blaze this evening. So she's streaming that. So I hope they are winning, definitely. But we were saying, how strange does it feel? So we want, come on and talk to us and tell us what you've been up to this week. Have you booked anything in? We were just saying we've got our hairdresser's appointments for next week. But it's like those weekend plans and what you're doing. Who's been to the pub? Share that with us. Tell us, have you been to the pub yet? And Amanda, what have you been up to this week? Because it all feels a little bit strange. We can do things.
I feel like I've been a bit left behind. I haven't really done anything any different. I've just been working and walking the dogs. So I haven't been, and it does feel strange, doesn't it, that you can now do things and that the shops are open. And I've seen on the news that people are queuing gardens, and I want to go there. I want to do that. And so I just feel like I'm a bit left behind. And then I just couldn't believe that Gemma managed to double book in lockdown. She's double booked. I mean, how?
We're so used to being here and being on Zoom. It all feels a little bit unnatural. So I've been this week to have Hopi ear candle. I think that's how you pronounce it, treatment. Yeah. And even that was a little strange, although I've gone to Suzanne for absolutely years. It was a strange sensation being there and talking to people. And even at the school, we've had a friend has a new baby, and even that today, you feel a little bit like you want to jump in, but then you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be a little bit careful. So it all feels a little bit alien. And like we do our Zoom meetings, and you find that you're drawn to coming home again. A little bit still.
Yes, well, I've been thinking about sort of weekend plans, because I know that we're still taking things steady and it's only 6 in the garden and outside at venues. I know all that and sticking to the rules and everything. But this weekend just gone, I know the weather wasn't quite so good, was it? But it sort of got to Friday night and I finished work and then I thought, I don't have to stay here. I could do something. What could I do? And I hadn't planned anything because, we were saying, weren't we, Amanda? Normally we've got things in the diary for the weekends and things do get double booked and we've got plans and things. And it just feels a bit, I knew that this was coming, but it feels a bit strange.
I know this has been
organised.
Yeah, the first week of dancing going back. So the kids have had more of a social life this week. So we've had swimming start back up. And I've seen people sharing that they've gone to the gym and things like that. I haven't. I have to admit, I've carried on in my way. And like you say, doing work from home. But we've got dancing, we've got swimming, martial arts has started up. You're saying about weekends. Someone mentioned the fair's on in town.
Really?
So again, and I was like, we drove by it earlier today and my dad said, oh, is that actually open? And there were people there today. There was only a few cars parked up. But again, it's like, oh, there's a fair on.
Yeah, and it's really strange because this is only a fraction of the real life, isn't it? It just feels a bit weird. So, but I'm sure we'll soon get used to it, won't we?
Definitely. Well, I think, and as well for Leicestershire, we've obviously, the kids have gone back to school, but Warwickshire, they're still on holiday. So I have seen a few people that have gone away, and that's not all. Seeing people in their caravans in Wales or in Devon on a beach. Even that's like, that's amazing. I want to be on the beach.
It's like, so Amanda, what are we doing here on a Thursday evening? Didn't we want to go to a beer garden and don't we want to go to a beach?
Do you think we could StreamYard from a beach?
Yeah, I think we could.
So it's all feeling a bit alien, but I think it's how we work ourselves back into it. So I think definitely for me, it's been my mindset this week. Although we're starting to do things, I'm not prepared to jump in just yet. Like we were talking about guides and things like that. We're already on Zoom and we've done that. It just showed on my memories that we've been on guides doing Zoom for a year. So it's like, where's that gone? But for there's certain like social distancing and things that I think for younger children, it's harder to implement, but also you want them to enjoy it. So I know for me that we're planning in where we can be back inside from June. So it makes then you're steadily doing things to increase it. So you'll then be.
Is that after the 21st of June, Amanda, or is that sort of from the beginning of June? Because like
the beginning, so from the 17th of May,
yeah.
As my dad was reading out the roadmap, that's the time where you can start to have larger numbers and larger groups inside
yeah,
for other events sort of thing. So from then, I think for me as well, as it moves slowly on, in my mindset, I'm thinking, right, there's the Whitsun holiday. So I'm looking forward to being on a beach for then.
Yeah.
And then I think then I'll be like, right, this is where I'm going with that. So I think I'm looking forward to sitting in a pub. And I have to say, I drove by the Sycamores on Monday, and I don't know who these people were. It's about 3:30. So if you were skipping and cheering going over the road, I saw you and I wanted to cheer with you because they were cheering to go into the pub. And I was just like, it's happening.
Yeah, it's so lovely, isn't it? It's so lovely. Yeah, it's very something that we just took so much for granted, didn't we? I mean, it feels amazing that we can do things like that again.
And the fact, the flexibility of it, that we obviously changed our mindsets with Zoom and StreamYard and things like that. So there's also that flexibility that, as you said, networking will still be able to Zoom. So for people that are gradually taking it in, because I guess people are going to have that different mindset of how they're going to approach things.
I think lots of people have got, and I suppose I love that term. We're all in the same storm, but we're all in different boats and different, because we are, aren't we? And we're all in different, aren't we? And I think so. The big news is that we've actually booked our June meeting for FindaBiz Hinckley back at the New Plough Inn. I've spoken to Louise. It's all in the diary. So fingers crossed that everything carries on, and we'll be back in person 28th June. 6 p.m. and it's made us all so happy, just the fact that because last year we didn't even get close to that, so to actually get to that, it's like, woo, it feels amazing. But then when I was talking to some of the rugby members on Tuesday evening, they said, we're not quite sure really whether we want to come back that soon, and I said, well, that's not a problem, because what Gemma and I have done is we've bought a camera that, it sounds really weird, but we have practiced it. We have practiced with it. So we can have a meeting in person. People can be in the room, and then you have the screen up and the camera picks up what's happening in the room, and it combines a Zoom meeting and a live meeting. So it's a real hybrid.
That's fantastic.
So we'll be offering that for quite a while, so that anyone that doesn't feel like they want to come and actually meet, or if they come and they feel uncomfortable and they go home, they can just Zoom in. So it is definitely, we're going to offer both.
Fabulous. We've got Lorraine that's just said, hey, hi, Lorraine. So thank you for joining us. Tell us something, Lorraine, that you've done this week that's been a bit strange.
Yeah.
If you've got anything that you've been up to. Have you been to the pub? Have you had your hair done? My mum had her hair done this evening, so she was very happy about that.
Tell you what, I've been spotting as well on Facebook pictures and Instagram pictures, lots of people with nice fingernails.
Not yet. Next week.
I thought, no, I haven't either, but I've been spotting them thinking, they look nice.
And that's something that we probably, it was almost like we don't have to worry about that at the minute. There was nothing we could do. So even that mindset, I guess a lot of people, like my mum said earlier about colouring her hair, she's always done it. But she's never then really noticed her natural hair colour, because it's always been a thing. So then to notice it, and today she just had her hair done and permed, but she hadn't had the colour done. So to her, she was like, this is very different, but I actually quite like this. And it's like, oh yeah, your hair's a different colour, but you don't really realise.
No.
I think people so often, but even that, people are going to change their minds and go, do you know what? I'm leaving it as it is, or I'm just going to. So I think that's kind of nice that we've got a different perspective, I guess.
Well, mine's
time.
A bit like rat's tails tonight, but it's sort of the longest I think it's been since I was about 17. And there's part of me that thinks once a hairdresser can get hold of it, perhaps they might be able to do something so that I don't have to have it all cut off. So we'll see.
And I've got some fab new shampoo that I can send you some samples of that you can try. It's been I say really good this week. I haven't even dried my hair this week, so it seems. So I don't know what's in it, but we were told in the Global Rally that it actually dries your hair quicker.
Oh, definitely.
Really, I literally went to bed with it like that, and it's dried. So I was like, well, that's good, because normally it'd be like out here or something.
Yeah. And in this life of ours that is normally so busy. I know we've had a bit more time whilst we've been on Zoom and things, but we're normally so busy, and this having to dry your hair every day.
And get dressed.
How am I going to fit it in? How am I going to fit all that back in?
It is, it's just amazing. And it's like we spotted Mary, so who does estate planning. She's out and about helping with the census. So, and she said, do you know how many people I've seen in Burbage? So she'd seen Steve Ty, photographer, then she'd seen me on my drive, so she popped in. So we had like a little gathering on the drive because there was another lady from the market popped over. And I thought, I've really missed this. I feel like I need to open up my garden and say, come and have a coffee sort of thing. Because that bit, I really cannot wait till we get to networking and seeing people.
I know, I can't.
It just seems real.
Yeah, yeah, and yet it's what we did every month, isn't it? Well, I did 6 times a month.
Yeah, and even for the shops to be open. I know it sounds bizarre, but I've not been into town or anything. It's literally you've been food shopping if you needed to, or you've ordered it online. So actually, then like, oh my god, we can go in the shops, because I was like to Emily, we can get you a pair of school shoes, because she's been going in her boots, and I was like, we can actually do that. Alfie was like, what shopping? I can't think he can remember the last time he had to go shopping.
I bet he can't. It's really strange, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, it is. I mean, my son's a personal trainer, and he's gone back to work this week, so he's back at the gym. So he's I think he's pleased to be back. I think he's pleased. You know, it was a long haul, wasn't it, from Christmas?
Such a long time.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, because people are going back to the gym as well. So and I think that as well. It's that routine, I think that's really nice, that, you know, I'm going out to do this. So like you say, at the weekends now, it's like getting into your head. We can actually plan things. We can go places.
Yeah. I think that's
and it's not going to just be to go for a walk. Or saying that though, I think the dogs must be super happy. All these dogs that have been at home with their owners, they must be super happy because they've had all that time.
I know. My dogs are exhausted at the minute because I took them on a business meeting this afternoon. We've started meeting for a walk to meet up, and we walked miles today, and they're fast asleep. They've had the best time. You know, they've walked miles. They've had our company the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be very happy when things change a bit more.
But if you said about walking, net walking, is it's going to be called.
That was we spoke about that next week, didn't we?
It's completely a different way of doing it, but what a nice way to do it. To be able to take your dogs and things and socialise in that way and still network. I think a lot of good things have come out of this, in the fact that we wouldn't have thought about that before.
No.
It wouldn't have been on the radar to kind of do something slightly different. And I think that's a good thing to kind of keep those things. So with changing your mindset and taking your time to get back into these, but also keeping some of those things. So, you know, adding those into your schedule, because in theory, you've done your exercise and you've done your meeting. And I think you've had fresh air.
Yeah, and you've had some fresh air. And the one thing, you know, when the family come round and when Easter Sunday, when you could have everyone in the garden, it meant so much, didn't it? And I really don't want to lose that, because we sort of took things like that so much for granted, didn't we? And yet it meant, it was just wonderful, wasn't it? The sun was shining and we could all sit in the garden and be together. And I don't want to lose that.
Not rushing around, because my dad always says that with caravan holidays, you go on holiday and he always takes his watch off. It's the first thing he does is takes his watch off, because then he's like, we're not rushing anywhere. Whereas in natural life, when you're popping in to see someone, or you're rushing off to do something else, where you've had that time when nobody's rushing anywhere, you've had those conversations, you've had a good laugh about things. So it still meant that you're able to do those things. And then moving forward, it's kind of like those things I'd like to keep as well, definitely.
Yeah, me too. There's definitely some things I'd like to keep. But I just hope, I have a feeling that life will probably get in the way, won't it? Once we get going again, but I hope not.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think for a lot of people, like my brother is absolutely dying to be on holiday. He loves every weekend, whenever he can go, his thing is getting in his caravan. So for him, he was literally like, as soon as I've got my dates, I've booked. So there will be like, some people are like, I've got a book, I've got to be free, I've got to go away or do things. But then that's okay to get back into that routine. But then for others, it'll be like, I'm taking it steady, I want to enjoy the time, you know, and things like that. So it's a steady progress. I think everyone should be like, do you know what? I'm taking my own time and I'm making sure I'm doing it.
You just do it at your own pace, don't you? I think that's the thing. I mean, I must admit, the beer gardens are calling. I must admit they are.
I just keep seeing those pictures though. Have you seen the ones where they were saying they were going for a beer and it's raining? Literally trying to eat some food and it's raining and they're trying to have a beer, and I was just like, do they do like electric blankets or, you know, a little shelter for me to keep warm? That's the only thing that's putting me off.
No, oh right, oh gosh. The one thing you can always rely on is the weather, isn't it? You know, best laid plans and then it rains.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think
we've
so let's hope Blaze are doing really well. Shall we have another shout out for Coventry Blaze?
I hope they are storming it, and I hope Gemma
my dogs are going to bark. Someone's just come in. I'm ready on the mute.
So thank you ever so much, everybody. Take a look, and I hope whatever you are up to this week, you're having an amazing time. And then, as Amanda said, so if you are interested in the networking, we will be from June. Very exciting, June 28th, or we will be live back at the pub. So we will be on countdown for that.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear in the comments what you've been doing this week and whether you've actually gone shopping or to a bar or a restaurant, or, you know, I saw someone said that they'd had their first pub meal since March last year, you know, and one of my friends said that he was walking past the museum in Riversley Park and he stopped and had a coffee and a piece of cake, and he said it just felt so great because it was
it's like everything's new again, new and exciting.
Yeah, I like that. It's nice. We need to enjoy it, don't we?
We definitely do.
Okay, always lovely to talk to you, Amanda. Right, so everyone stay safe, and we'll see everyone soon.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.